Welcome to the show with no interference. Get all your NFL needs made by fans for the fans. We are your hosts, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. So here we go. All right, welcome to the show. No interference. We are your hosts, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. Today we're going to continue our schedule breakdown and, as promised, moving on to the AFC South. The Deep South.
The Deep South.
But before we move into that, we have some breaking news. If our fellow Commanders fan wants to go ahead and break that for the fans.
Terry got that money, baby. We were talking about the last video, how he deserved it, and he got it. 3 years, 71 mil, 28 mil guaranteed. Locked in the next
top 5
4
paid
years.
now.
Yeah, he's the fourth highest paid wide receiver in the league. And I think if he had a comparable quarterback the last 3 years, he'd probably have the numbers for it too. So,
Yeah,
well
I
sure.
can
deserved,
see him
in my
getting.
opinion.
If Carson Wentz learns how to throw to a certified number one receiver, which I guess he's never really had, not like this.
Good point.
I could see Terry having a humongous year.
And I mean, if you compare Terry to that draft class, he's probably been the most consistent. He hasn't ever popped off, but he's right there at that 1,000 yards a season. I think he averages like 70 catches a season.
Mm-hmm.
Touchdowns aren't always there, but he's in a pretty anemic offense. So
Could have said it better myself.
he's definitely more of a traditional receiver than anyone else in that draft class, as much as I love AJ Brown. Well, I used to until he betrayed me.
Hater.
I would have taken either one.
But no, good for him. I'm glad he got paid. I'm glad he's staying in Washington.
Yeah, the loyalty is there, and he put out a big statement after, I think it was today after he signed. It was a couple paragraphs just about what it means to him being in the league in general, and then for even thank Dan Snyder and Tanya this dirty hose, but whatever.
Yeah, trying to think if anything else came out this week.
Minus Deshaun Watson possibly being suspended the whole year.
Well, I read today that they're saying
Baker
6 to 8
Mayfield.
now, and
Yeah, and then Baker Mayfield officially saying, I mean, it was kind of back and forth there with the
Baker basically
doesn't
said,
want-
"Kick rocks. I ain't playing for
Yeah.
y'all."
some QB1, which even though
Did
he
he-
QB1 all year,
Did he say? I didn't read the article, but I saw like
he didn't mince
a
words.
quote from it. Did he say? But didn't he say like, unless someone reaches out or something like that, or someone would have to reach out? Like he didn't say no way, did he? Or did he say like no?
I'd have to double check.
Yeah, I have to look at his quote
Okay.
again. Yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
There's not
more
much, too
important
much
things to
going
cover.
we know why everyone's here. Their favorite division, the AFC South.
on.
So let's just get right to it. If you all ready,
Ready as I'll ever be.
and we are going to start with the Tennessee Titans, who were the number one seed in the whole conference last year. A little bit somewhat of a challenging schedule, but they start the season off against the New York Giants.
Giants. Yeah, I'm giving the Titans the win here.
Yeah, I'm
I
going.
think the Giants had a great draft, but I think unless Daniel Jones really takes the next step, which I mean, a lot of teams are worried about that quarterback making that next step, but he's also been in the league for 3 years already. Not like a lot of these rookies last year trying to make that move to be a franchise quarterback. I think it all goes on to him, no matter what weapons they have. Obviously, I think Saquon's coming in this year healthy. They still have a solid wide receiving core, but unless Daniel Jones can actually get the ball out accurately without turnovers, then I don't think they have much to work with.
Yep, I think it's as simple as you're looking at a team that has their chemistry, they know who they are, versus a team that's still trying to find their identity.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't say, but W.
All right, week 2 at Buffalo, and we've
We already had this
already
one.
given
We
them
picked
the
them.
L for this one. So let's move on to week 3, home against the Las Vegas Raiders. What are y'all thinking?
This is a tougher one for sure. We were talking about the whole division, the AFC West in general is a powerhouse. Looking for the Raiders to take that next step, just like Derek Carr needs to. I mean, I think he's a top tier quarterback, but he has had the most weapons now he's ever had. He's got Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro, Darren Waller. No excuses this year. Get it done. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm giving it to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Titans because it's in Nashville. I think the Raiders are going to be good this year, and I know they need to get all the wins they need to get, but I think I know they have all offseason together, as in Devontae Adams and Derek Carr.
And they played in college together.
They've played in college together and all that. I'm just giving the edge mostly to the Titans because it's home field advantage.
Yeah, I didn't even honestly bring that into account. That's a good point.
So this is my thought process. I'm going with a Titans win, but I thought that they're talent-wise pretty
This would be a great
even.
game. Yeah. Back and forth.
Raiders for sure have a better passing attack, but in my memory, Derek Carr is not the best when he's getting consistently pressured. Like I feel like clean pocket Carr versus having defenders at his feet Carr is a pretty drastic difference.
Yeah, and you got Simmons and Landry coming off that line.
And hopefully healthy Bud Dupree. So
yeah.
I'm going to give the Titans the W in this one.
Fair assessment.
So that takes us to week 4 at Indianapolis.
I got the Titans getting the dub. I think it's gonna be a good division game. We'll see. We'll see how Matt Ryan established himself there in Indy. It's 3 weeks in, 3 games under his belt. Still a little early. Where's that at? Is my thing to show where
it's in Indianapolis.
It's at Indianapolis.
I still got the Titans.
Yeah, I'm a little higher on the Indianapolis than some people. I'm gonna give. I'm just because I think it should split, and Tennessee has Indianapolis at home after the bye, and I think they're gonna win that. Not to get ahead, but so I'm just giving Tennessee the split loss here.
Yeah,
a lot of reasons for it.
I went with the loss too, mainly because I think Indianapolis at its best when Jonathan Taylor is getting fed the ball in early week 4, early in the year. That's what he's going to be doing. They should be healthy. I think Indianapolis, not to get ahead of myself, but I think they will run into issues when they are forced to throw the ball more. But early in the year, Jonathan Taylor has fresh legs. Get him his carries, his passes outside. At home, I'm giving it to the Colts. Week 5 at Washington.
I have you guys winning this one. I think it's gonna be a good game, but it also depends on how Carson Wentz is. New quarterback as well, new system.
And I was gonna say, for whatever reason, it seems like the Titans have Carson Wentz's number.
Yeah, it's just a lot of variables to be confident in Washington right now. I see we'll get to their schedule eventually, but the first 2 weeks for them should be easy dubs. But going forward, Philadelphia, then you got someone else I can't remember. Then you guys, Titans. This could be a tough one there.
Yeah,
stretch.
Yeah, back to what Taylor was talking about against Derek Carr. I think the pass rush will come in handy against Carson Wentz. He can sometimes be flustered back there trying to make too much happen. I think it could be a close game that maybe one Carson Wentz fumble or ill-timed interception could be the deciding factor.
Hopefully,
I think it could be a good game.
Fucks with Tannehill, and you guys got to go all and hit Derrick Henry, make you one-dimensional. But that's all. Gotta wait.
Yeah.
To see how this defense goes back to 2020 or not. Because last year they were nowhere close.
Yep.
So then we go to week 6. Titans got an early bye,
Early bye. Yeah.
which I hate this early bye. And I mean, you're the number 1 seed. I feel like if you get the early bye, you kind of get screwed. And it's like Titans are the number 1 seed in the AFC, and you give them the early bye. Like, it sucks. But whatever.
Any early buy in general, I think sucks.
The only
It's
advantage,
like taking a 10 o'clock lunch if you're at work all day.
the only advantage to the early bye is that they come off the bye home against the Indianapolis Colts, and I think they are taking the W there.
Yeah, I think we all
Yeah.
agree it's the W again. The Colts the week after the bye.
Yeah, I don't know what the Titans historically, how good the Titans are after the bye, but I mean most teams benefit from it.
I think
and
in the regular
like I
season,
said, I think they're going to split.
I think in the regular season, Vrabel's pretty good after the bye week.
Yep.
So then week 8, they go on the road to the Houston Texans, and I'm giving them the W there.
At home, easy W it's gonna be a division game, but still, easy W for the Titans there. Hopefully,
You're going to be surprised.
I mean, with the Texans
But
and Davis Mills.
I have the Titans winning.
Yeah, I like
You
Davis
dirty
Mills,
bastard.
but they just don't have enough talent.
Yeah, I agree. Easy.
All right, so
This
we
is
go
a
to
good
He
one.
will them 2 wins, just not this one.
Yeah. Week 9 at Kansas City. The Titans in the regular season, I think the Titans in their last 5 against Kansas City are 4-1. But it's hard for me to pick against Patrick Mahomes.
Regular season.
My reasoning was just because the Titans have had their number. I think the Chiefs are just due for one in the regular season.
It's hard
Um,
to get one over
I
old
don't
Andy
know.
Reid.
Yeah, it's 820 in Arrowhead. I mean, I think the Titans they've won. I don't know what their win loss is in Arrowhead and at night, but I just I just think Kansas City's due for one against Titans, like you said, 4-1 or 5-1.
Yeah.
That would make their record 5-3 at that point, which is pretty. I think it's still a pretty good record. Can't have them going too high.
And then we
Or you
got week 10 home against the Denver Broncos.
This is a tough one too. I'm gonna give it to the Titans just because I think it's gonna take a little bit of time for Russell to blend in with the Broncos. At least a season to mold.
So I gave them the win too. One, I'm a Titans fan, so who cares? I'm a little biased. You guys would do 2/3 vote, so you guys can for sure overrule me. But I'm looking forward to Russell in this offense. I like the Denver team, but I do think we have seen the best of Russell Wilson already.
It's good. Yeah, good point.
I think the Denver will win this game. I think it's going to be a little bit of Russell magic. He's used to. I don't remember how good Denver's offensive line was last year, but I don't think it was horrible.
It's respectable.
And I think Russell Wilson's used to playing with garbage offensive line. I think he's going to have a few games this year where he goes off. Sutton might have a great year this year because he has a respectable quarterback. And they have weapons. Tough game, close game. I'm giving the edge to the Broncos for now.
RJ, what was your pick?
Titans.
All right. So we're getting the W. So that brings us to week 11.
It's the Packers.
At
This
Green Bay.
Will be a 225-yard game from Sir Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Big
what
time
will the
win.
Packers do without Devontae Adams? Obviously, A.J. Dillon, you got Aaron Jones, strong. But can Rodgers still be his magical self? That is the question, and which is why I'm giving the win to the Titans.
Aaron Rodgers can pull a few games out here and there, like we were talking about I don't remember
It was last
when we were
podcast.
talking about
bring him
him,
up
but
next
I mean, he's
podcast.
had these seasons where he throws almost 50 touchdowns and under 10 interceptions, and it's ridiculous. And that's just with Devontae Adams, because I mean, I don't care about any of his other receivers. I mean, who's he throwing to now? Randall Cobb,
Lazard.
Lazard,
Christian
Skins,
Christian
Akers.
from the
Watson.
Chiefs.
They got the rookie.
Didn't they get somebody from the Chiefs? Whatever, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But yeah, he's not gonna be able
Because
to.
the Chiefs still have Hardman, and they drafted what?
Oh wait,
Sky Moore.
did the Packers get Sammy Watkins, who was on the Chiefs?
Sammy Watkins. Yeah, I got
Mm,
Sammy Watkins.
yeah.
And he's put a fork in him. He's pretty much done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
What do you think,
Unfortunately,
Taylor?
first round pick.
I think. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not really afraid of this Packers team.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
their
saying.
defense
There's
is
not much
getting
intimidation.
their defense is getting old. None of their receivers really scare you. Robert Tunyon's coming off of a ACL injury. I'll take, like Trevor said, I'll take Derrick Henry. Thursday Night Football in Green Bay, even though I usually pick the home team for Thursday Night Football. The Titans typically show up in the primetime games.
Yeah, especially the last couple of years.
So that brings us to Week 12, home against Cincinnati, and we already, as a show, voted them with the W from our first episode when we did the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to Week 13 at Philadelphia.
I'm giving this one to the Eagles.
The city that loves Adolf.
This is going to be. I know the Titans seem to have the Eagles number the last decade, it seems like. It could be a revenge game for Titans fans or A.J. Brown. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. I'm an Eagles fan. We all know this. I'm going to be high on them this year, and I'm giving them the W.
It's all right because I picked the Eagles too.
It's at Lincoln Financial.
I like,
I'll give them the little bit of a point boost there.
I like the Eagles team. The Titans, for whatever reason, struggle with scrambling quarterbacks. I've seen it time and time again the last few years. They can get 5 bodies on a scrambling quarterback, and all 5 will miss their sacks for whatever reason. So I think we're all in agreement.
I think the Eagles are going to win the division. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC. Just going off of last year, they finally found their rhythm with the run game. Jalen Hurts, I'm predicting to do just fine. I think you guys could be the team to beat in the NFC.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
We ain't going to jinx them that hard now.
All right, so that brings us to week 14, home against the Jaguars.
Saxonville. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I mean, you guys own the Jags every time you play them, pretty much.
As long as Derrick Henry is on the team, I'm not afraid of them.
Exactly.
I'm not afraid of you. Did you hear that?
That's what we should be going against. Win-loss over how many stiff arms he's going to get that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, win for me.
Easy enough. Week 15, on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers.
I actually have the Chargers winning this one.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers.
High power, just scoring 50 points. Not 50.
Now if
I have this as a win for the Titans.
Well, I'm giving them.
I don't think SoFi is a home field advantage, so I took away a point there.
This is a game I could 100% see the Titans winning, and if we're like a couple weeks into the year and the Chargers are still fumbling the ball with a stacked roster, sure, I'll change my opinion. But just looking at...
I was just going to say, I know the Chargers made a bunch of improvements. The best running back in the league, I think, still, against the terrible rush defense last year.
They did it at Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I mean, what is he gonna do? Flip down the middle and stuff him?
He's one of the best run defenders in the league still.
I don't know. If they, if it's like weeks 4, 5, 6, and they have a top 10 rush defense in the league, I'll pat them on the back. But I don't think it's gonna be that like how bad they were last year. Maybe get to middle of the pack. Derrick Henry can still eat on that,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
and Titans fans will show up. I think.
True. All right, week 16, Saturday football. Home against the Houston Texans.
You guys are sweeping, is what it is. Sorry, Texans fans. They'll
Busting
cry about it
out
somewhere.
the broom for the sweep.
RJ finished it. That's on to the next one.
Week 17, home against the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm giving the win because the Cowboys defense will not stop Derrick Henry. Trayvon Diggs can do whatever he wants. Michael Parsons can try and do whatever he wants. But Derrick Henry's going to put his shoulder down and put you in the turf, boy.
I gave this to the Titans as well. It's in Nashville.
We can't show any
Thursday.
We can't
You guys have
respect
2 Thursday games, huh?
Apparently, I honestly thought it was a misprint on my list, but if you have it too, we can't respect the Cowboys on this show. It's not allowed.
I mean, when we get to their actual going down their thing, I'm not gonna just dick them with their wins that I think they deserve or they can get. But in this one, it's not happening.
0-17.
So week 18 at the Jaguars. Is that a dub?
RJ, give it to him like you did the Texans.
Where's the broom? I need the broom. Clean up on aisle 6 because you're dead.
I don't know what the significance is for aisle 6, but don't go there.
666, pick up sticks. Whatever the saying is. And also, really from the Freddie song, 1, 2.
So
we've been shut down. They are taking the L.
So we have the Titans going 12-5.
Seems about
Respectable.
Winning the division with that.
Respectable. So let's go on to the number 2 team in the division, the Indianapolis Colts, who seem to have okay schedule. Excuse me. Week 1 at Houston Texans.
Yeah, it's a win for the Colts. I don't think the Texans will do well in the division overall. At least against a good team. Maybe with the Jags, they can split or something. But the Colts, I think, defense is still there. Jonathan Taylor. I may not be as high on Matt Ryan as big old Sass over there, but I think they'll still be a competitive team this year, and easy opponents should be nothing.
Yeah, I think Taylor mentioned it. The Colts will probably be running Jonathan Taylor heavy earlier in the season. Texans just don't have talent. I like I can't remember his name, so apparently I don't like him that much, but the Houston Texans quarterback.
Davis Mills.
But yeah. Going with Colts for this one.
All right. Week 2 on the road again. Jacksonville Jaguars. Do the Colts just beat them into the ground, just no mercy, drop like a 50 burger on them after Jags cost them the playoffs last year?
I think it's a dub for the Colts. I
don't know if they'll beat them into the ground. I mean, I know Carson Wentz. I don't want to get into other stuff here, but I know Carson Wentz had a decent statistical year last year. And Matt Ryan might not even do that. Matt Ryan might give him 22 touchdowns and 10 picks. I just don't think they're going to be as poor time picks, and he's not going to have those ill-timed fumbles either. But yeah, win against Jacksonville.
All right.
I lost my point there.
No worries. They're starting the season out 2-0. Brings us to their first home game of the year, week 3, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm giving the Colts a win here.
Me too, because I think early in the year, they're going to be their team identity is going to be they're going to be the hammer.
Keeping Patrick Mahomes off the field. I don't think the the Chiefs are going to be scoring like they usually do. Like,
And let's see what
Tyreek Hill scoring out of nowhere.
Mahomes does when teams are playing that soft shell and he has no Tyreek Hill streaking across it to wreck all the zones.
Fair, yeah. I gave it to the Chiefs, but you guys make valid points.
All right. So we already have them beating the Titans in week 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Colts for the show. We have them going 4-0 to start the year. That brings us to week 5 at Denver. Mile High.
This one I gave to the Broncos. Just because, with Russell there, they still have a lot of weapons. They could do a little something here and there. I think it'll be a good game. I think it's a kind of fair game between the two. You got 2 older quarterbacks. Matt Ryan's a little older, but 2 experienced quarterbacks, both with weapons, decent defenses. It should be a good game. I'm just going to give the nod to the Broncos.
Sasquatch?
I was torn between this one. I kind of wanted to give the win to the Colts. I think you both alluded to Russell Wilson getting acclimated to Denver and not having the usual sauce he has.
Better
which I
O-line.
don't think will be. Yeah, I don't think will be the case entirely, but I just think week five, yeah, in Denver, I'm just gonna give a slight edge to Denver.
I'm going to go with Denver as well. I think Denver mainly, I think their defense is a little bit underrated. And I also think what's going to play a big part is their run game.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to.
I think we'll have a good offense.
I think they'll be able to bang back and forth with the Colts, but I think they have the edge in the passing game. And I think the Denver defense is going to surprise some people this year. Not that they were bad last year, I don't believe. So that brings us to week 6, home against the Jaguars.
I have this as a W.
Same.
Colts, yeah. I'm sorry. And I mean, hey, Trevor Lawrence could start the year on fire and put the whole team on his back. If he does, good for him, but I need to see it first. Week 7, we already said that they would, facing a Titans team coming off the bye, take an L. So that brings us to week 8, home against the Washington Commanders.
Trying being unbiased as possible, I think this is somewhat of a revenge game for Carson Wentz. And at this point, if we do have an offense, it will be established by then. And we should hopefully get the W.
I got the flip side for you. I think this is going to be a revenge game for the Colts for Carson Wentz costing them the playoffs last year.
Did he cost them, or did the horrible coaching and ownership cost them?
Fair enough.
I, too, think this will be a revenge game for Carson Wentz.
Bastard. Now, I do want to throw out some logic here.
All right.
I have Washington winning. I think Washington's pass rush is going to be back to form this year. I think Matt Ryan can perform under pressure at his old age, making those calculated decisions. But
until Jonathan,
we've also had the Falcons number recently.
Yeah, it's indoors.
But Matt Ryan was on the top. That's what I said.
I just feel like the Washington can maybe get a 10-point lead early in the game and then kind of let their pass rush go if they want.
I'm dropping it now. Points. Montez Sweat's getting 2 strip sacks.
Oh, love to hear that. Hopefully he can stay healthy all year. No more broken jaw issue.
Jeez. Freak.
He is a freak. Got to unleash him.
All right. Week 9 at New England.
We had this as a win, right?
Let me check our notes. We have this as a win. The Colts got a late season bye.
Really late.
Week 14. I just think that these teams are similar, and I think the Colts are just better at what they're similar at.
I got the Pats winning this one.
We already voted as a show, RJ. Can you not mess things up for once?
I said I got the Pats thing winning this one. I keep mine different than the shows. I have a little slash.
Well,
next to them.
the fans can note that.
So
that
it's
brings
a W
us
for the Colts for y'all.
Yes. So that brings us to week 10. Also on the road at Las Vegas.
I got the Raiders winning this one. In Vegas, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Crosby, the other guy on the end, can't remember his name. On the outside, it's good. It's gonna be a good one. But I got the Colts. I got the Colts losing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Raiders in this one as well.
I think it's tough. They haven't had a bye yet, and they just had to go to Foxborough, and they got to turn around and fly to Vegas. Yep. So yeah,
I would lean towards the Raiders either way, even if they were in Indianapolis. But home field advantage, especially in these early predictions, is
it's important.
Big turn.
All right. Week 11, home against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Caught the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm giving it to my Birds. I feel like the Eagles typically play relatively well against the Colts, going back to Peyton Manning days. I'm not really going to say anything about the coaching. That shouldn't really matter. But I think Jalen Hurts and crew are going to give teams fits this year. I don't think the Colts are going to have enough offensive firepower to keep up with what I think will be a high-scoring Eagles team.
Yeah, I went with the Eagles too. I respect the Eagles' willingness to defend the run. I think their secondary is more than adequate to hang with the Colts receiving core until proven
Jordan
otherwise.
Davis going to be a big boy in that middle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I think the Eagles come out on top. They just have a few more playmakers on their team. Then week 12, we already gave them the W against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So I remember on the list I have, we gave the Steelers the loss, right?
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
I missed that part. I was looking at my notes. I'm like going back and forth.
Taylor said we have the Steelers losing this one. RJ's like, from our list, we had the Steelers losing this one.
I heard the Steelers.
That's all right.
All right, so then week 13, home against the Dallas Cowboys.
This is what I give to the Cowboys, unfortunately.
My
innards are coming out.
I really want to give this one to the Colts, and I kind of, at first, did give it to them, but now thinking about the late bye, the Colts might be pretty gassed at this point, especially Jonathan Taylor. Sunday night game in Texas. I mean, it's still home field advantage for the Cowboys, even though I hate them.
No, it's in Indianapolis.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Mine says at Dallas.
RJ, what does yours say?
AT&T, Arlington, Texas.
Mine doesn't have home field on it, or it doesn't say either way. I'm looking at NFL Network.
What is your schedule on from?
Mine's NFL Network.
I don't want to call these people because my schedule already had issues.
We need to find out. Pull it up, Jamie.
I'm just looking it up.
What?
I'll look it up. Colts.
I was typing it, but I'm on my iPad, so I'm doing one thing.
Cowboys 2022. We're going to fire the researcher.
You're a researcher.
I'm about to say, wait a minute.
You played yourself.
All right, you're right. It's at Dallas.
You know that meme where they're in space and the guy says something, and then the other astronaut's got a gun right behind him.
No, I've never seen that one.
All right, well that ruins the joke. On to the bye.
So wait, did we give the Cowboys the win?
Yeah, me and RJ did.
All right. And then moving on to the bye, so they can finally get some much needed rest. They come off the bye and have to travel out to Minnesota.
I'm giving the Colts the win.
Vikings
Just because-
defense.
Yeah, and they got, like you said, they got the rest. A little bit more juice in Jonathan Taylor. I think Matt Ryan can still do what he needs to do to get a win here and there. Yes, win for the Colts.
Yeah, against the Vikings, I gave him a loss.
All right. I gave them a win, so 2/3 we give them the win. RJ, why did you think they lose to the Vikings?
I just think the Vikings offense is taking leaps towards that passing game. They're really trusting in Kirk. Justin Jefferson is going to be going off. Still got Thielen. Plus Dalvin Cook's still going to be a factor. And defense ain't too shabby either. So
Fair enough.
with Kirk, I trust.
Fair enough. Week 16, home against the LA Chargers.
Give him a loss against the high-powered Chargers offense.
Yeah, I'm giving the Colts a loss here.
I'm sticking to what I said earlier, that the Chargers better be able to stop the run after all they've been through. And so I'm giving it, L for the Colts.
I know I said
There are
I gave the Titans the win against the Chargers later in the season because of their possible run defense issues. It could still be an issue. I just don't think. I mean, I think the Chargers are still going to be good regardless of a loss against the Titans. So I'm giving them the W here.
All right, then we have Week 17 on the road at New York Giants.
Colts.
I have the Colts winning this one.
Yep.
I think the Giants
will probably be the last team in the East.
Yeah, I don't like the Cowboys either. I think the Giants could steal a game here or there from somebody, depending on how Daniel Jones plays, but
exactly
not this one.
All right, and then Week 18, home against Houston.
Where's that broom at again, damn it? Bust it back out.
It's right behind you. W.
So we have the Colts going 10-7.
Like I said, they're gonna grasp
one win better than last year, or 2 wins.
I don't
remember.
Whatever it is, that's the difference between a few ill-timed fumbles and interceptions.
Okay, we get it. Carson Wentz done fumbled it up.
They were 9-8, so one more win.
Someone's getting a little saucy with their quarterback. I got more rights to him than you do. Still,
you said what you said. It was on its own file.
I got it. Do you got a jersey?
No, I probably won't.
You can have mine. I still got it.
Remember, he's got no guaranteed money after the next 2 years. So 3-year contract. Only this year is guaranteed.
He's guaranteed. Money. He's got some of my money in his pocket because he got my freaking.
You're paying for it.
I bought you that jersey.
Actually, that's Taylor's money. Taylor spent more money than either of us.
It's all right. It's all right because I bought Trevor Wentz jersey and he bought me a James Harden jersey.
Ooh. These stars just can't stay on
That's
the
not
team
the
to save
same.
their lives.
James Harden is one of the goats of Rockets. Top 5 Rocket of all time, probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't dispute that.
Especially, I mean, he had tenure there too. I think he was there for only a couple years.
Yeah, Wentz is like I don't know. Anyways,
Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yes, he is.
If you want to say it.
All righty, so that brings us to the Houston Texans.
Didn't we already say the sweep for that?
No, like
I was talking about if actually it's their turn next.
Get your head
to talk about. Out of your ass. Pay attention.
All right. So we already said they're going to start the season off with an L at the hands of the Indianapolis Colts. Then,
yes, I believe that's correct.
Then they go on the road against the Denver Broncos.
I have this as a loss. Yes, Broncos.
Yep.
Too much offense.
Defense is just not enough defense on the Texans right now. Then we have continuing their road trip to Chicago.
Because this is I don't like the Bears at all, but because this is at Soldier Field, I'll give it to the Bears. Justin Fields can make enough happen against Houston's defense.
I agree.
Sorry.
All right. No faith in Davis Mills.
Not no faith, just no team.
No, just yeah.
All right. Then they go week 4 home against the Los Angeles Chargers.
So
It'll be a loss. It'll be a
Starting off.
loss, a winless month for the old Texans.
All righty. Then back on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, these are the games that are kind of interesting because they're both two crappy teams. Somebody's got.
But I think for sure you can say the Jaguars have improved. They bring in Doug
Yes.
Peterson. They added to their offense.
You stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to
Yes.
say I give this the edge to the Jaguars because of Doug Peterson.
Yep.
Yes, and also just they still do have some weapons too on both sides of the ball.
I'll say it now. I'll jump the gun. I think the Texans potentially, if it wasn't for Davis Mills, and most people probably don't even know who he is, which is saying something. If it wasn't for Davis Mills, I think this is a 0-17 roster.
Yeah,
Who's their coach now? They got rid of Cully, right?
Yeah.
Lovie Smith?
There's
Yes,
Lovie
Lovie
Smith. Which in Chicago, he had his share of
I think he's gonna be-
appearances, but can never get the job done. Blame it on color all you want, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think he is a what's the word I'm looking for with Lovie Smith? He's a leadership guy, accountability guy. I think he's going to be given a little bit of leeway this year.
You think?
You should. First year.
I don't know. As I said it, I don't know if I believe it. On to the bye. I don't know.
All right. So far the Texans go into the bye winless. And coming out of the bye, they are on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Got this one to the Raiders.
Me as well.
Wah, 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 wah. And then as we've
Devontae
already,
Adams, Derek Carr would be saucing up a little bit by now.
as we've stated,
Houston
they're
cannot
in
stop.
week 8. They are already taking the L against the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
And that brings us to week 9 against the show's favorite, Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm taking
It's
the
going
L
to be
here,
a
too.
Thursday night feast.
Eat them up. Oh,
Oh.
my best Jameis Winston impression
Don't
here.
do it.
All right.
Eating W's.
All right. Week 10.
The guy standing in the background. The kid with the ice cream cone.
Awkward.
Week
So
10
that it drops off.
at New York Giants.
This would be the first win of the Texans season. In my opinion, they're going to steal one from the Giants. Black
think
Wolves
so?
team.
You think
I think
so?
so. I think this is one of those games. It should be a winnable game for the Giants, but they're poop dollar, so they're going to come out.
Give
on
him the old
clutch.
poop dollar.
Poop dollar.
This I'm torn on because do I really want to possibly give a team a 0 burger for the year? Maybe. Because they ain't getting their win yet.
Yeah, I gave them the L. I like the Giants coaching staff, and I think overall talent. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're the
Well, I think
Giants,
it's better than last year for the Giants.
if you're the
coaching staff.
Giants, you got to. If you're the Giants, you got to at least be able to say, "Hey, Saquon, win us something."
Yeah, good points.
Yeah.
But
I could see the Texans winning this game depending on how the Giants season goes. I just think
I think
Texans
there's
are
a
gonna be,
solid
like-
chance that the Texans are selling off by now, trading Brandon Cooks, trading Laramie Tunsil.
yeah.
So that brings us to Week 11, home against the Washington Commanders, and the Texans get their another consecutive loss.
That's
Yeah, this
another
is-
loss, especially coming from Washington's side. If you can't beat the easy teams, then there's no point in you trying to be a contender.
I
Just
have
take
this
care of business,
being
get it done.
I have this being as a rough game for the old quarterback over there in Houston. I could see this getting to like in the 7-8 range for sacks for Washington.
Put him in a body
You can have
bag.
that.
Yeah.
Still worried myself over here for this 2021 performance compared to 2020. But We'll see.
All
If not,
right.
Del Rio's
We'll see
gone,
how it plays
that's all I'm
out for him,
saying.
Jimbo.
Moving forward, week 12 at Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins.
Tua and crew should get it done if they're anything of what they're trying to be, having all these weapons. And it still hurts to say because I don't trust Tua, but giving it to the Dolphins.
I mean, what are the Texans going to do if the Dolphins are just like cross routes all day with
Waddle
Hill
and Hill.
and yeah, I mean,
They're doing this.
And
cross route.
the Texans, I like their one safety, Justin Reed, but he's on the Chiefs now.
But so yeah, he's gone free agency. Yeah, out.
And
Bye-bye
the
now.
Dolphins still have Devontae Parker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can just be like,
but he's beat up.
He's been beat up, but still, if he's
but
healthy,
they just need a couple points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Run game
So
ain't
win.
so much, but
All right. So
This
week
is an interesting
13, Cleveland.
we already had this one
Cleveland.
predicted.
And
But where's Deshaun Watson? Who is the quarterback?
Jacoby Brissett.
That's what I'm saying. At this point,
um,
we have. I think we gave it to the Browns, but
We did.
can we change it?
I mean,
Yeah.
the Browns' defense is still really like they have elite players throughout their
Brissett
defense,
yeah, Brissett isn't a scrub if he ends up being their starter.
and the Browns
I
can
mean,
just
the
Nick
Browns
Chubb.
are a wild card, but yeah, like Taylor just said, they still have stuff.
Even without a quarterback, the Browns are still one of the more talented.
No,
They're
Good
middle
O
of the
line,
pack
good
talent-wise.
O line, good running back, good defense. That's enough to beat a crap team.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on to week 14 at Dallas Cowboys.
I have them losing in Texas. Dallas still has Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb,
So technically, they're both in Texas.
Tony Pollard. Yes,
Yeah.
fair point. You got me
Unfortunately,
there.
I have to agree. Ugh.
I'm just slowly fade away like Thanos.
It does
Well,
affect
if that's the snap he does,
It's a pretty
he
weak
might get,
snap.
like, he might get a couple of ants in your room.
few skeeters,
Like
but
it.
the rest of the
Yeah.
population's doing just fine. Captain America's like, why is my ear tingling?
All
All
Yeah, we
right,
had that as a W.
Yeah.
Wait, a loss.
A loss. W for the Cowgirls. I mean, cow shits. I mean,
Oh God.
week
there's
15.
people out there with the fluffy pom poms.
Week 15 home against the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a Chiefs dub, unfortunately, because I still hate them too.
All
Yeah,
right. I mean, it just not a lot of good stuff to talk about. We already said they're going to take the L against the Titans,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm giving them week 17 their first win against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
Did you just skip over the Titans?
No,
Well,
Titans
we
are
already said it,
well,
so
yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I give them the dub there. I think they'll probably split, which is the biggest thing, just because they're two division teams going at it.
Yeah,
Two crap
I'm
teams.
giving-
like you said,
this
the
schedule is not really forgiving for them.
no, this is a pity victory for them.
And then they lose to end the year at Indianapolis,
Yep.
and we have them going 1-16.
Sounds
Still,
about right.
still tying the record for most losses
Maybe
in a
like
season.
maybe an extra 1 or 2 wins in there if Davis Mills, comes.
I mean, yeah,
clutch in some
upsets
spots.
are definitely there, and we never know with injuries. Like
Exactly. I think that's the
one,
biggest thing with the
one or
records,
two teams are going to get decimated with injuries, and maybe they get one of those teams.
Well, maybe if their practices weren't so soft nowadays, they'd have to be more prepared for game. That's all I'm saying. Finding our catch $100,000 because a little more contact. Little extra
All right,
contact
so
in practice ain't ever hurt nobody.
That brings us to the final team in the AFC South, the team formerly known as Saxonville for
The
one
Magpies.
season,
Crap.
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Shag me. Jesus.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Week 1 on the road against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, it's definitely going to the Commanders. Sorry, no bias there, but it should be a W. If we don't win against, so Commanders go Jags, Lions. Those two aren't easy dubs. The whole season's screwed.
I'm giving this to Washington.
Yeah, I try not to overcomplicate some of these things, especially when it comes to bad teams. I definitely like the talent level of Washington much better, so we're giving the Jacksonville Jaguars an L to start the season.
L for love.
L for love. And then we already said
Best dodgeball quote you could use.
we already have them week 2 losing home against Indy. Week 3 they go on
Keep
the road
rolling
against the LA Chargers.
That's a
Loss.
loss for the Jags.
Justin Herbert's gonna fling it all over the place.
Then week 4 on the
Loss.
road against the show favorite
time loss.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Doug Peterson's gonna be welcomed with open arms, and then he's gonna be spat back out.
Yeah, the Eagles are definitely gonna be like cheering him on for that Super Bowl ring, and as soon as they flip for the coin,
It's got a statue in front of the stadium. They should get rid of it, but
they're gonna tow that thing away.
it's not a great statue. I like it because it's our first Super Bowl. I give him the pass, but
RJ, anything to chime in on?
No, it's too self-explanatory.
All right. Well, week 5 at least we have them.
explain it.
I can't.
Week 5 we have them beating the Houston Texans. So they get their
We've already
first
talked about that.
First win. And then week 6 we have them losing to the Indianapolis Colts. And that brings us to week 7 against the Giants.
I'm going to give this W to Jacksonville. Doug Peterson's familiar with the team. I know it's a different coaching staff, but still, he knows Daniel Jones.
And
stuff.
I like Trevor Lawrence more than Daniel Jones.
Me too.
We've said it over and over. I'm not a fan of how the Jaguars have constructed their team or spent their money or their past coaching decisions, but the roster is not garbage. It's not great, but it's not like trash.
Yeah, I know we were all hating on the Christian Kirk signing, but I mean he can still go get out there and grab the ball.
It was just the money.
He's not a scrub. He just got overpaid
for a third string wide receiver.
Then they go over to London to play the Denver Broncos in week 8. Are you from London?
What was that noise?
Fucking.
I was like, is that a ghost? I'm gonna give it to the Broncos. I know the Jaguars always play in London, but I just don't feel like it's an advantage. I don't know. Is it an advantage? Like, what's their record in London?
That travel sucks.
Yeah, I just don't think it's an advantage. But hang on, I'm gonna look really quick.
I know they beat the Ravens like 5 years ago.
Yeah. How do people find stuff so quick? What do you have this as a loss?
Yeah. Part of me wanted to say upset for the Jaguars, but
I can't find it. I'm just not a stat guy. Not a research guy.
Yeah, part of me wanted to say upset, but I'm trying not to overthink things because we don't know the makeup of these teams yet. So I'm just going to give it to the better team.
Yep.
So that takes us to week 9, home against the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to give it to the Raiders.
I did too.
I think this could be a tough game, 1:00 game in Jacksonville. I think the Raiders are going to be, the division's going to be so tough for them. They can't afford to lose these types of games.
And at the end of the day, even if it's a close game, who do the Jags have that is going to cover up Renfro or Adams or Darren Waller? That's not a favorable. It's not a
correct.
favorable matchup. So that brings us
Agreed.
to Week 10 on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs.
This will be a loss for Jacksonville.
Yes.
Yeah,
Easy loss.
I want to like this team, but not that much.
No, you don't. Titans fan over here lying to the people.
Well,
I have a soft spot for Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
Why?
unbiased as well.
I don't know.
Because he
The
was your
only
Super
soft
Bowl
spot
head
I
coach.
had for the Jacksonville Jaguars fluttered away when they got rid of David Garrard, Fred Taylor, and Maurice Jones-Drew.
A long time ago, we gotta get out of the past.
Fair enough. Well, Week 12,
Live
off
in
of
the
their
present.
they have their Week 11 bye, and coming off that Week 12, we have them taking the L from the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Then-
It should be a cleanup game for the Ravens.
Week 13 on the road in Detroit. We're all
I'm giving it
Dan
to the
Campbell. We're all Dan Campbell fans here. I'm giving
I'm
them
giving
an
it to the
L.
Lions.
Yeah, I'm rooting for
Yeah.
the Lions.
I'm right there with y'all. I think the Lions are going to be a. I don't think
Better
they're
than
gonna have
last year, but still not a top.
A, yeah, I don't think they're going to have a good year. I think they're going to have more of a feisty year, like they showed at the end of last year, throughout this year.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's nothing to be afraid of.
And
Yeah.
then Week 14, we already have them taking the L from Tennessee. So that takes us to Week 15, home against the Dallas Cowboys.
Unfortunately, I have to give the Cowboys another win.
I'm giving Jacksonville the win here.
Oh, I like
Do
it.
tell.
I just think that the Cowboys are going to have a lot of turbulence this year. I think the Cowboys could be a game under 500. They could be in the 5. I think they'll probably be in the 9 win range. It's in Jacksonville. I don't think the Cowboys defense is going to be that good. I don't think the Jacksonville doesn't. I know they're not loaded, but I just think they have just enough to pull out a victory here.
I like what you said, but I have to go with the Cowboys.
It's fair. It's a coin flip upset. Maybe a little bit of Cowboy hate in there. Who cares?
Well, that brings us to Week 16
He's honest.
against the New York Jets. And I have the Jaguars sweeping New York.
I got the Jets on this one. I think I'm a little higher on the Jets this year than you guys are, but
I like Trevor Lawrence a little better
so
than
the
Zach
ball's on
Wilson.
Yeah, I just think the Jets as a whole have improved more than the Jags have on both sides of the ball.
That's fair.
It all depends on Zach Wilson, though. Like you said,
I like
both teams. It relies on the quarterback.
I don't hate Zach Wilson, but if I had to put my money on which quarterback's going to take the next step, I'll have faith in Trevor
Well,
Lawrence.
Sunshine better being a number overall pick. That's all I'm saying.
Sunshine.
I don't even like Trevor Lawrence.
Sunshine.
All right, so that will be a.
Wait, Trevor, would you say the Jets or the?
I
Jags?
said Jacksonville.
Okay, so for the official.
All right, Week 17.
We already got this one. The next two, actually, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have
Loss
them
and a
taking an
loss.
L.
Or a win and a loss.
Oh yeah, I disagree with the one. I think is what it was.
No,
Wait, was it one and a
we
loss?
have them losing to the Texans.
Yeah,
Okay,
Texans.
they split it, right?
Yeah, and then we have
Yeah, they
them
split
losing
this
to the
year.
Titans.
Yep, loss. Okay.
So we have the Jaguars going 1, 2, 3, and 14.
14. Yep.
I hate to say that's going to be the record with Doug Peterson, and I don't think that's going to end up what happens. But this far
I
out,
definitely agree with that.
based on their roster and what they did last year,
I mean,
think before training camp, those were pretty early predictions. Like we have, talked about injuries and all the things that unfold during the season. Like, who knows? Jacksonville comes out. Trevor Lawrence is hitting. He has great control on his wide receivers to get the run game going. James Robinson,
if Trevor Lawrence
defense is good. Jonathan Allen, or what's his name?
I mean, it's not like
the defensive end, Josh Allen. Sorry,
who
on the Jags? Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen. There's two, right?
Defensive
Josh
end.
Yeah. Let me ask: if Jacksonville without thinking of anything else on their team except for their roster and Doug Peterson, if Trevor Lawrence has 30 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, you're probably gonna think they win 6 or 7 games.
If he can keep
If
it
he
on
makes
getting
that
interceptions
much,
in his second year, that's super
if
impressive.
if Trevor Lawrence goes from year 1 to year 2 being a top 10 quarterback, yeah, that changes everything. I would
He
say, yeah,
definitely
they
didn't
could get
have,
to
you know, having
a top 10 quarterback is worth 5 wins.
4 wins.
Yeah, 4 or
4
5
So
wins.
do you think
Yeah.
if Peterson was there last year for his rookie season, because we all know what happened with Urban Meyer, it's going to kind of obviously set him back a bit. Overall,
I think Urban Meyer set this team back so much.
Mhm.
Even some of the draft picks, I think having someone else would have helped steer the ship a little better.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring up Antonine either when I was talking about weapons with Jane Robinson and all that. So if Antonine comes out here, even though he's already going to be, his profile is supposed to be a top 10 receiving back, he hasn't even stepped on the field yet, really. If he can turn out to be that, I mean, that offense is looking pretty scary.
I'm not
If Trevor Lawrence can do it.
I'm not super high on him, but he
Yeah.
can only help. He can only help that offense. All right. So we have the only thing changing is the Jaguars and Texans flip flop, but it stays Titans and the Colts leading the division.
The AFC is going to be tough with the wild cards. Teams like the Colts, going over to the AFC West, depending on who dominates out of those, you have people battling in the AFC for the last wild card spot.
And we have the Bengals and the Ravens.
Yeah, the whole division of the North is also good. 3 of the teams could make it depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Yep. Who knows? Well, anything else y'all want to?
Feisty year in the AFC. Good luck, AFC fans.
Yeah, we'll see. Anything else y'all want to throw out today?
Nope. Wrap it up, West Side.
All right, that does it for the show. This is episode 18 of No Interference. As always, we are your hostess with the mostest, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. We're going to be continuing our schedule breakdown for the AFC West for any of you bandwagon fans out there. Again, thank you for all of our listeners, all of our subscribers. The list keeps growing. We appreciate all the support. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like, share. It all helps. Again, was it episode 16? We said our next comment gets a free shirt. We have not gotten a comment yet, so
technically RJ would have gotten the shirt.
We said, yeah, right. Okay, well, yeah. As it stands, RJ is going to get an extra shirt because no one else apparently wants one. So that's still on the table for anyone who's on the fence. Like, hey, I don't know when we're gonna have shirts.
We will give you a shirt. It's not a joke. It could be worth millions in the future.
Yeah, you never.
It's a free gamble.
You have nothing to lose.
It's a gamble worth taking.
No, you have nothing to lose.
Risk reward. Scared money don't make no money. Leave a comment.
Also, tune in to our social medias to just stay up to date with the show. But that does it. Adios.
See you later.
Peace.